Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the third round of Season 17 in Division 2 at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. My name is VNT Felix 1. I'll be taking you through tonight's action for what will hopefully be another exciting installment in the Division 2 Championship. We've got a 17 car grid for tonight. Everyone in the lobby as we start qualifying. Jonathan should join me in a little bit at some point during the race, or during the qualifying, whenever he makes it. So I will be actually having a co-commentator for once, which is very good news. In terms of today's grid, we are, of course, missing a couple of drivers being, I can say down, but 17 is a good number. But still, we are missing a couple of main drivers for today. Namely, the drivers that we are missing today are Action Rake, Flavors, Edwin, Yusuf, and we've got Rain. Okay, Rain on the cards here in Hungary. Interesting. Let's try it again. The drivers we're missing are Edwin, Desi, Action Rake, Yusuf, and that's it in terms of main drivers we are missing, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. That doesn't add up. I think. Desi, Edwin, Action, Flavors. And Yusuf. Okay, we're missing 5 main drivers, Jesus Christ. Desi, Edwin, Action Rake, Flavors, and Yusuf. And we've got 2 reserves for tonight. Pocho in the Haas and Marco in the Sauber for today. And of course, with the rain coming down, we have got intermediate tires in the car. It's not too much rain though, it's a fairly small amount of rain, I would even say. Okay, my game is remarkably quiet. I'm gonna have to turn it up just a little bit. So just give me a second for that. There we go. Yeah, first car out on track, the McLaren of Aussie that will be. And now with this rain coming down, of course, we don't really know what times are gonna look like. Sean has just gone on the full wets, which we are very far away from. I would say we're closer to dries than full wets here. This doesn't look like that wet a track. It's fairly small amount of rain, and I don't really even see much rain on the track. Looks like it's pretty much just started raining like a couple minutes before qualifying starts. So the track might get wetter and wetter here. And of course that means these early laps will be very crucial. And it could be an advantage for Aussie if he can get the first lap on the board and might have the driest track. Because it does look like a track that's only recently actually gotten any rain on it. So still move Aussie for his lap here. Like I said, he is the first one coming around. Behind them we have got the Sauber of Marco and the Red Bull, I believe that is, of Viral, yep. Then one of the Haas cross the line, that will be Pocho starting a lap as well. Pocho and Marco, I believe, both making their first appearance this season in Division 2. If I remember correctly, I don't think either of them raced so far. Of course, purple sector 1 for Aussie makes sense, he's the only one to complete the first sector so far. But it looked, I don't know, not like the cleanest lap. He's oversteering quite a bit, having to correct a lot on the exits of corners. Of course, you have to get used to these wet conditions first before you really can put in a good lap. Usually, when we see in wet qualifying, the times, even the track stays the same, the times improve by multiple seconds throughout the qualifying as people find, yeah, exactly how far they can push it, where the grip is, where the grip isn't. And how careful exactly they have to be on the throttle, where they can put the foot down. Always tough to judge, especially when you're only just getting out on track for the first time. And for Aussie, that first lap is a 27.176. You can have an immediate comparison with Marco, who is close in behind him. And he's going to put in a 127.547, so about 4 tenths slower. Then we have the Rebel of Rival, of course. Last week in the Wet Grand Prix at Kota, he was second place. Right now, he's 3.5 seconds off pole, so that must have been a mistake-ridden lap. Pocho across the line. That's going to be a 27.950, also 8 tenths behind Aussie. Aussie, with a lap that I don't think looked good, still reigning supreme at the top. The next car across the line is the Williams of Pix, so still more with him. He's coming to the last sector here. Behind him, one of the Mercedes cars, that was Mihai. So Pix across the line goes 4th fastest, 28.5, and Mihai goes 2nd fastest, 27.2. After that, I believe we had Kuko, and he goes 5th fastest, 28.1. After that, Sully, time's coming in quickly now, he goes 3rd fastest, 27.3. The Sauber always on an out lap, then a McLaren, that's Aussie once again, who is starting a next another lap. Behind that is Marco once more, he is also finishing up one lap. Then we have a should be a Red Bull of Viro once more, and he's 1.5 seconds up, but on 100% ERS, so I think he's starting another lap right now. He does improve to a 28.1, but he wasn't using ERS on that. After that, we've got Pocho finishing up on one more lap, and he was pushing at least 9 thousandths down in the middle sector, 20 thousandths up at the end of the lap. Gabri starting a lap now, and I do think that the track is getting wetter because doesn't seem like really the times are coming down much. And I don't think Aussie's time was like I saw the whole lap. It didn't look like a lap that would stay P1 for this long. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, yeah, Mihai is down by 2 seconds once more. Up ahead of him was Pix, who also was down. He's going back to the pits even. After that, Alpine of Kuko invalidated, and then the Red Bull of Sully. He is 3.5 tenths up in the middle sector, so he could be about to steal the pole position of Aussie if he brings this over the line. Overtake mode enabled, and that's a 26.721, indeed, a 6.5 time improvement in the end for the Italian. Now we have Owais over the line. Having recently taken the main seat once more, he's back full time, 28.8. He replaced Arda in the Sauber after Arda was removed from the seat for inactivity. Pocho letting his teammate Gabri through. Pocho, of course, reserving for flavors today. Sean has gone out on the soft compound, so keep an eye on Sean if that tire could be the one to be on now. Right now we've got Inters and soft in use. Marcelio is on the full wet, but he's in the pits. 26.8 from Gabi. Sean is starting a lap already, so let's actually start working. He hasn't come back straight in the pits, so clearly it wasn't horrible. Let's keep an eye on Sean then, what he's capable of doing on the soft compound. Goes a little bit deep into turn 1, and now I think on the exit we can see... Wow, that's not it. This tire is not the one. You can immediately tell he's getting really, really loose on the traction. It's not undrivable, the track is not... it's not like he's aquaplaning everywhere, but it certainly isn't a pretty scenario for Marcelio's now actually out on the full wets. 31.5 first sector, and Solis was a 30.0, so he's 1.5 seconds down in the first sector alone. It's definitely not time for softs yet, but they are not a million miles off. If it was like fully wet, the soft would be a lot slower than that. I think it might be the intermediates overheating quite a bit. That could be a big problem for the drivers right now, that maybe a little bit more rain would actually improve the lap times, just because the intermediates would stay in some sort of temperature window. Because when you run the intermediates on a track that isn't really quite there, they do start to overheat a lot. Marco jumping into 4th place there with a half a second improvement. See if I can get a car where I have a good angle. So that, yeah, but he's not pushing right now. PC really, can I see his tire temperatures? 80, okay, he's not overheating. 84. Yeah, I mean 85. He's getting close to. He start overheating around 90 degrees. So yeah, come the end of a lap, the drivers are getting close to overheating. So they do really need that cooldown lap in between, or maybe even 2 cooldown laps. Get the tire back into the window. 26.618 by Google River. And even in that cooldown lap, it's very difficult to make the tire cool down. You have to drive so slowly, really, to get the temperature out of the tire. PCOD goes top, 26.549. Sean Moore well off the pace on those soft tires. 26.5 from PCOD pole, 30.0 by Sean. He's currently the slowest car that is put in a lap time. Marcelio on the full wets, which I must say I'm a little bit confused by. I mean, the Inters are already struggling for tire temperatures, they are overheating. The full wet is going to be screaming for help by turn 2, basically. We've got Kuka around the final corner, but he is 20 seconds down in his previous best. He was on a cooldown lap there. Like I said, has to drive really, really slow to get the tire back into the right operating window. Sean Moore, a purple middle sector. And he's 6/10 down on his previous best, interestingly. But he's gonna keep going on this soft tire, so he will know exactly when it's time. He will be able to tell. Oh, he's fully sideways there. And he goes back to the pit lane, abandons this quest on the soft. Besides, it's not quite worth it. There's quite a few people coming in the pits there. Maybe getting a second Inter for the second half of qualifying. Usually in these mud qualifyings, people will go out on one Inter and then do 2 or 3 hot laps on them with cooldown laps in between. Lanky Brown dips the tire in the grass into the last corner, and that's both this lap and the next lap firmly ruined. As he goes around and actually he goes even slower than Sean. Marcelio also even slower than both of them, so that full wet definitely not the one to be on right now. 4.5 time improvement from Kuka in the middle sector. 1 second to pole position. Mihai is now on the softs. Viral goes top, 26.381. Lap times are improving, so the track is not getting wetter like I thought it was. Kuka goes 6th fastest, a 7/10th gain. Picks us around at the second to last corner here. His lap down the drain. Gabri finishing up an outlap, and behind that we've got Pocho. He's the closest to finishing a lap right now. And that's going to be a 1.3 second improvement in the middle sector. The track certainly has improved since his first run. A 27.9, his previous best, so he is 1.6 seconds off pole position. So he could be about to jump all the way to P1 here. If he finds a little bit of time in the last sector as well. I mean, with how much he found in the first and second, surely he can, and he does. 1.9 seconds gain over the whole lap for Pocho, and that is enough for provisional pole position for the Italian. Solido also up by 8.5 tenths, and he's already on his way to stealing that pole position right off Pocho once more. And we still got 1 second to go to gain even more time. The time's coming down quickly now. We are going to be seeing, I think, a lot of movement in those top 10 positions. Phantom Fox the only one who hasn't been able to put a lap time in yet. Sully over the line, a 25.735. Top position for Sully. Varo does not improve on his previous best, was on a cooldown lap. Gabri 3.5 up in the first sector. Lanky 1.2 down, he's on a cooldown lap. The only one I found that was pushing there was Gabri, and he's 8 tenths up in the middle sector, close to 8.5 even. So that would already put him at 26.0. If he can gain another 3 tenths in this last sector, he can steal pole position off Sully. It's worth mentioning Gabri today running under the Hungarian flag. The second home race for him, alongside the 2 Italian Grand Prix in Imola and Monza. 25.799 for Gabri, exactly a second gained. Second place for Gabri, it's not quite enough to beat Sully, but it's fairly close. 7.35 for Sully, 7.99 for Gabri. Sean is now switched on to the intermediates, and I think that is definitely the tire to be on, the softs. It doesn't seem like the track is getting any wetter or any drier, it just seems to be stable in this sort of in-between state, where it's too wet for the dries and also a little bit too dry for the inters. At least in the qualifying, this is not too bad, because at least you only have to do 1 push lap on the inters, so they don't actually overheat that much. But if you have a weather situation like this in the race, it's really annoying, because you basically have to drive on overheated inters, and are just really struggling to keep them yeah, the temperature window. Well, you're not struggling, you just can't. And they get a lot of wear on them. Sean, of course, up massively, 2.6 seconds. So yeah, the intermediate clearly faster. I mean, we already knew that, but confirmed once more. So I do think everyone is going to be going out on the inters for the last run. I can't see anyone switching to the soft. Sean, through the final corner. Currently 15th, he needs to go way further up the field than that. And that's going to be P4 for Sean, 3.7 seconds gain, 26.246. That's more like it. Now, do we have anyone else? Aussie, I believe, is on a push lap. At least it looks like it. Sean will be on a cooldown lap now, and Gabri is coming back to the pit lane. So, we're still with Aussie, as he's the only one out on track right now, currently in the push lap. Bazooka, I believe, as well, was on a slowdown lap. Yeah. 3 minutes left to go in qualifying here. So this will probably be Aussie's last lap. Maybe one more. Has he got enough fuel to do a cooldown lap and then a hot lap after this? He does. And he's almost 5 tenths up in that middle sector. Looking at a low 26, can maybe get into the top 5 with this. But he's very erratic on the steering wheel, just turning left and right everywhere. A lot of oversteer, is correcting it well though, he's keeping the car somewhat under control. On the edge of grip really. And sometimes over it. 26.403 for Aussie, beats his teammate and goes into 6th position. See you on the Mercedes starting lap, that is Mihai. Bazooka also another hot lap up ahead. So stay on board with him as he's coming into the first sector. He's already done 6 laps on those tires. And with conditions like this, there could be quite a bit of wear on them as well. He has got a Red Bull in behind him, which will be Viral, I believe. Yeah, Viral on an out lap. Bazooka down by a full second in the first sector, so not going to be improving at all on this lap. Let's watch Mihai instead. Currently 12 fastest, 27.2. Of course, last season Mihai with a shock pole position around here. And he invalidates. He will have one more lap in this session, I believe. He has got enough fuel. So it's not all for Mihai, but it's certainly a setback now. Sean is pushing again. Aussie still on the cooldown lap. Always also starting a lap. Phantom Fox is also starting a lap now. And he's actually close to completing it. Sean, meanwhile, in the first sector, up by 1 and a bit, tenths. Wants to get into that top 3 group of currently Sully, Gabri and Pocho, an all-Italian front 3. And now everyone coming out the pit lane to start their final laps. Bazooka also coming around one more time. 1 minute to go. So this is most definitely the last chance for everyone. Otherwise missing the apex a little bit in that chicane. Not what he needed. And we've got Phantom Fox coming up on quite a bit of traffic here in the last sector. Hopefully they either start laps quickly or get out of his way. But it's certainly not ideal for Phantom. And that Alpine right there. Oh, that's not helpful. That's, I mean, who's that? Phantom Fox 27.453. And I think he's going to keep pushing as well. And now him and that Alpine are both on a push lap at once, I believe. And that Alpine being Guga River. That was really not well done by Guga. Pretty much ruined both his and Phantom Fox's qualifying with that. Always is retired. The next Cox line is a Red Bull of Viral. He might get one more lap in, but this one is invalidated. Not sure how much time there's left to go. Marco just jumped into 3rd place with a 25.9. Viral will not get another lap in. After that we have a Racing Bull of Bazooka, 2.5 tenths up, and after that one of the McLarens. Then there's a big gap to the rest of the field and they will all be coming through together basically. So Viral is done, Always is done, Pix is done, Marcelio is done. Bazooka over the line. Improves by almost 2 tenths, but stays in 14th position. Then we've got Aussie, who jumps into 3rd place, 25.843. Then Pocho, the next car across the line, 6.5 tenths gained in the middle sector, and after that we've got a whole group of cars, so keep an eye on that top left. You'll be seeing the leaderboard changing quite a bit. Pocho goes top, 25.592. Who else have we got? Sully and Gabri both coming towards the end of the laps here as well. I believe Gabri's actually one of the last drivers. Yep, he's coming into the last sector. Sully across the line, currently in second place. Can he steal pole position back off Pocho? Yes, he can! 25.420 for Sully. P1. And the last car still going around. PC Woody coming into the last corner, and then Gabri. Marquez should be on a slow lap after he just did one. PC Woody jumps to 6th place, and Gabri in a moment at 3rd place, and he goes to 3rd place, does not improve on his position. Marco goes back to the pit lane. That means qualifying is done. And it is Sully who has taken pole position here in Hungary with a 25.420, followed by Pocho 25.592, and then Gabri 25.708, and all Italian top 3 here in Hungary. Orsi in 4th position with a 25.843, and then Marco fairly close behind, half a tenth behind him in fact, with a 25.897, another half a tenth to PC really 25.934, and then Kuko exactly 30 thousandths behind that in 7th, 25.964. Shomul in top 8. Not quite what he would have hoped, certainly hoping to be further up than 8th usually, 26.101. Lanky Brown in 9th position, 26.338, Rowder rounding on the top 10, 26.381. Mihai in 11th position, 26.498, couldn't confirm his great qualifying pace last season where he took the surprise pole position. And we'll go through P12 and downwards once we have the results screen up on on the TV screens. There we go. Guga River in 12th on a 26.618. Then Phantom Fox in 13th, 26.657. Bazooka in 14th, 27.496. Owise in 15th, 28.144. Pix in 16th, 28.541. Marcelio only with that lap he did on the full wets, which obviously were not the right tire. 6 seconds off the pace, 31.493. That's it. That is the grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And we are certainly in for a good race here. Two of the main title contenders, Sully and Pocho, Sully and Gabri, sorry, up there, Pocho being a reserve driver, not really in the title fight. Kuku down in 7th. Not what he would have hoped for. Shame for Sean down in 8th. Both of them with quite a bit of work to do in this race. Phantom Fox in 13th. Always want to look out for in the races as he moves up the field. After he usually misses about half of qualifying, if not more. Strong qualifying by Ossi. 4th position. He'll be happy with that as well. Of course, in terms of the driver standings, Sully already in the lead with 40 points from the first 2 races, the P3 in Australia and the win in Kota. Leads Sean. Sean 9 points behind him on 31. The next driver is Kuko, and he's got 19 points. So Sean and Sully running away a little bit. At the moment, of course, that's with Viral and Gabri being in 4th and 5th, and they've... Well, Viral scored 0 in Australia, and then a P2 in Kota, and Gabri, of course, missed Australia, and got the 3rd place in Kota. Kuko had a very bad race as well in Australia. In Australia, he finished 2nd in a great race in Australia. A very bad race in Kota. He only got the 1 point for the fastest lap in the end. So it's all still very much to play for, but Sully with an early advantage, and it's a wet race as well. For the 2nd week in a row, we have got rain, not just in the qualifying now, but also in the race. Of course, in Kota it was a dry qualifying and a wet race. I did not read chat. If I had read chat, I would have known, because these guys are not happy. Dry after 30 minutes, says Mihai. So... late in the race we can expect it to go dry. That's interesting. So you could be in for another wet race drama here around the Hungaroring. 17 cars down into Turn 1 in Hungary, which has seen some crashes in the past, especially in the wet. Think of the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix with Bottas, well, slightly misjudging his braking point and playing a little of bowling into Turn 1. Of course, I'm not hoping to see anything like that, but it's a possibility for sure. With rain like this, I expect to see intermediates. I mean, the full wet are horrible in this game, and the drivers, Edwin and me were adamant last week in the chats that the correct strategy would have been to start on Inters last week as well. So surely at least someone does it now. I think the full wets might be faster now, but it won't be for long. So we'll see. Now the information that what tires the guys have gone onto.
And I must say, the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and for grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate, as this race, in these conditions, will require a lot of focus.
Very, very interesting. We've got mostly intermediates, a handful of full wets there for Pocho, Gabri, Marco and Mihai. Everybody else has started on the intermediates.
So as all the cars reform the grids, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
So yeah, I predict an early advantage for the full red runners, but they will have to make a pit stop to the Inters once the track goes drier, which it definitely will. So that will be the advantage going back in favor of the guys on the Inters, but then the ones starting on the full wets are going to have the advantage with fresher tires. So this is a very interesting scenario, and it will depend on how long this rain stays out to see which strategy is the better one here. Very, very excited to see how this plays out. But for now, we've got a race start. And that has got absolutely no strategy involved. Pure chaos down towards turn 1 we hope for. Sully on the right hand side, Pocho on the left, and Gabriel behind them. Who will lead in turn 1? It's 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Sully on the right hand side gets away decently, a little bit squirmy there in the background from Gabriel. And it looks like Sully and Pocho are going to be battling in turn 1. Pocho on the inside, breaks a little bit later, gets the car stopped on the apex, and has got the inside line against Sully. Has got a better run out the corner on those full wets as well. And it does seem like Pocho is going to take the lead of the race here. Sully might try it back up the inside into turn 2. He gets a little bit loose on the braking. Pocho trying to hold it around the outside. Now, 2 wide in behind as well. Marco has gotten past Gabri. Pocho is taking the lead at the inside line of turn 3, a couple of cars going off in the background. Pocho leads from Sully, then Marco, then Gabri. Peaceably Viral, Aussie, Sean, Kuko, Mihai, the top 10. As Van der Metz past Mihai there. Great start by him, already up to 11th, back down to the 11th, sorry. Marco though, a full second back from Sully almost here. Of course, dirty air playing a big effect now on the F1 25 game. Making it very difficult, especially in these conditions, to follow closely. Let's get the time graphic up once more. The full wets certainly seem to be working. Sully, the only driver in the top 4 on those Inters, but PC when he's bringing pressure on Gabri. I mean, Sully's also staying with Pocho, so it's definitely not like the Inters are way slower. And this track will only get drier. They have the advantage, surely. Gabri having to defend from PC there as PC tries to go around the outside. Gabri so late on the brakes. Gets the car stopped just about and holds on the 4th place at least for a little while longer. But have they made a mistake starting on those full wets? I think they have, unfortunately for them. Of course, Pocho takes a fast lap of the race, being the first one across the line. We've got Kuko all over back on Sean here, 2 of the championship contenders. Kuko goes up the inside into turn 1. Breaks later than the Williams man and might have a better run as well on the exit, I think he does. Sean still somewhat in there, looking to get back alongside towards turn 2. Kuko covers the middle of the track, goes back to the outside, goes a little bit wide from the corner. Can Sean take advantage and slip through on the inside? He can't. Kuko takes 8th place off Sean. Sean once more has to look at his mirrors as Mihai is closing in on those full wets. Meanwhile up front, Sully is putting pressure on Pocho. Pocho goes a little bit wide. Are the full wets already struggling in comparison to the Inters? I think they might be. Marco and Gabri are still holding on to 3rd and 4th as well. Mihai up there in 10th has also moved up a little bit from the start. Oh, and Pocho gets really loose, and into the grass goes Pocho. He rejoins the race in 2nd place, just ahead of Marco still, but he allows Sully to take the lead of this race. And once more for the 2nd week in a row, we've got Sully leading the way now by over a second in the wet race. Can he repeat what he did in Kota and simply run away with the race? Complete control. I think that would be the worst case scenario. PC will be looking at the back of these 3 wet runners and thinking, get a move on, or get out the way, either one. Let me go after Sully. Because if these full wets are slowing down and are struggling in these conditions, with the intermediates being faster, but it does seem like Varro is with a much faster lap time than any of the guys on full wets. Sully could use this chance to run away with this race and create a gap so big that the rest of the intermediate runners cannot get back into it. They are being blocked by the forwards of Pocho, Marco and Gabri a little bit here. All in all, I would say it's roughly equal. Maybe a slight advantage for the intermediates right now, and that will only get stronger in favor of the intermediates. Mihai also struggling a bit. He's being put under pressure from Phantom Fox in behind, Lanky Brown as well in the background. You can look at the battle for 12th here. We've got Google River getting closer and closer, it seems. And welcome, Jonathan.
Good evening.
You've joined, well, you've missed the start basically, but apart from that, nothing much has happened so far.
I
3 laps
do not
into the race.
have an invite.
Right, I will invite you quickly.
Danke. As
There
they
we
say
go.
in Germany.
PC already now on the back of Gabri. The intermediates certainly faster. Pocho's now dropped back 1.8 seconds from Sully. And now we have Pisivoli looking up the inside into the second to last corner. Gabri goes a bit wide. And Pisivoli, can he slip through on the inside? He's left the advantage on traction. He's now got the outside line for the final corner as they're still side by side. Gabri pulls ahead a little bit. Pisivoli trying the switchback line. And they are alongside into that down the main straight, squirming on the throttle. Gabri covers the middle of the track, covers the inside. Pisivoli goes to the outside of turn 1. Brakes late. Once more, can't really fully get ahead. Or even fully alongside. Gabri elbows out. And DC Rao slips through as Pisivoli gets pushed off track. DC Rao now trying to hold it around the outside for turn 2. A bit of contact made, wheel banging. Pisivoli gets loose and Rival completes the move. Pisivoli though using some all-take down towards turn 4 up the hill, looking back up the inside, but that's too risky. Has to stick in behind and Rival moves up to 5th. And once more the Red Bulls in a really good position in one of these wet races. Essentially in 1-2 position once those full runners get into the pit lane. And Sully already with a 2.8 second gap and growing. PC really does look to be faster than Rival though, as he's following him very closely, trying to get back into that 5th position he lost at the start of this lap. Rival himself, of course, looking to make a move on Gabri. He knows he needs to get around him really. Those full wets are not the tire to be on right now. I'm surprised they haven't pitted yet. The Inters are clearly faster. Vio looking around the outside, looking for the switchback now from the corner as Gabri really just can't get any traction out the corner. Viral to the outside line to the last corner, trying to complete what we see what he couldn't. But he gets into the wet line. And can only stay alongside, but now down the main straight. He's got a slipstream up ahead of Marco. Gabri and Viral in a drag race towards turn 1. Viral on the outside. They break equally. Gabri goes deep in the corner. Viral with a beautiful switchback, but once more gets onto the wet line and can't get the traction fully down. But he does complete the move anyway. Finally, Viral has gotten past Gabri. PC now back in the position that he was earlier, stuck staring at the back of that Haas. And now Viral is ghosting through Marco and moves up to 3rd place. Marco seems to be lagging a little bit here as he also now is being attacked by Gabri as he goes around the outside. That would be a beautiful move by Gabri if he pulls it off. And they are still side by side into the chicane. Marco bakes earlier and Gabri pulls ahead. The gap from Sully to Pocho now up to 5 seconds. And it's so clearly time for the intermediates. A big strategy mistake by Pocho, Gabri, Marco and Mihai to start on the full wets. As Pocho gets loose in the braking once more, PC really makes a move on Marco up into 5th place, coming to the last sector here. And surely they have to make the pit stop now to go into the Inters. It's so obvious that it's time. Pocho is in. Gabri's still staying out. Marco is into the pits as well. Gabri staying stubborn. Maybe hoping for a safety car to bail him out or something like that, but otherwise he is in a really bad position. Raul has taken second place, now 6 seconds back from Sully. We are really in a very similar situation to what we were last week in Kota. Sully absolutely running away with this race, taking full advantage of those full red runners, blocking the rest of the field for him. And in doing that, I mean, Gabri has got everyone down to P9 essentially in the train with him. You see only Aussie, Kuko, Sean, Phantom and Lanky all very close together, staring at the back of Gabri. Raul now can try and chase after his teammate, 5.3 seconds a gap. Maybe it's still possible, of course he has got quite a long way to go in this race, only lap 6 of 35. So nothing is won yet for Sully, but he has of course got a massive upper hand now. It's a great start to the race for him. Gabi is actually keeping pace quite well to cars in behind. He's got peaceably 9/10 back. And seems to sort of be able to hold him there.
Apologies, I am back.
Welcome back.
I literally joined and then had to go for a couple of minutes.
I was wondering why you weren't saying anything. Peaceably has now closed in massively. Gabri is finally in, getting off those full wets. And he's going to rejoin, I imagine, in last place.
What is the full forecast for this race?
30 minutes after the start, it goes dry, is what Mihai said. That's all I know.
Interesting.
So it was Gabri, Pocho, Marco and Mihai starting on the full wets. Pocho, Marco and Mihai pitted 1 lap ago. Gabri pitted now. Gabri actually hasn't lost that much in that 1 lap that I thought he would. Still comes out well ahead of Marco, but behind Pocho. Of course, Haas had to split the strategy or double stack, so I guess they made the right choice there. Since the two of them are still at least fairly close together. Otherwise they would have been quite far apart. But they have got a lot of work to go. 7.5 seconds the gap from Pocho to Owise, who is the last of the runners who hadn't pit so far. And Viral is doing a great job as well. He's got 3 seconds of a gap to PC. He's closing it on Sully. 4.5 seconds. That gap has calmed down. Viral at the moment, I think the fastest car out on track. Of course, I imagine from now on it'll be one of the guys on the fresh Inters. Pocho, Gabri, Marco or Mihai. But at least all of those who started on the Inters, Viral appears to be the fastest, at least. At the minute. Also he's staring at the back of his teammate. Looking for a move up into 3rd place onto the podium. And yeah, indeed, the fast lap of the race from Viral, confirming what I just said. He has got a great pace at the minute. These conditions really suiting him. Train as well in behind Kuko. He's up in 5th place, but being chased by Sean, Phantom and Lanky Brown. For the battle as well for 9th between Guga, Bazooka and Pix. Marcelio not too far behind as well, and then Owise. And yeah, this chasing pack, Pocho, Gabri, Marco and Mihai. Gabri very close to the back of his teammate. And Pocho lets him through. Team orders at Haas. Gabri gets past Pocho.
The game's gone.
7 seconds, the gap from Gabri to Owise. Let's see if that was worth it, that driver swap. If Gabri's at the pace to get back towards the field quicker than Pocho would have. He's already gapped him at 1.2 seconds, so I can see the reasoning for the team order at Haas. Maybe something similar brewing at McLaren. I mean, Aussie has been staring at the back of the teammate of his for a while now, but he's not been able to get in as close as Gabri did. So they could also just be sort of equal on pace. Of course, dirty air affecting it a lot, especially with the dry line forming. I mean, you can clearly see the dry line out on track. Sully now the fast lap of the race. Viral beats him immediately though. And if you see where he goes into the wet line, so he's already struggling on temperatures. I mean, he's certainly not defending from that far back, so I don't think he's worried about Aussie dive bombing him from 8/10 back. So yeah, he was just cooling down the tires there to keep him in the window.
Oh, massive slide for him though.
And if you have a look, yeah, he's at 76 degrees, so he's a little bit over the ideal temperature window on the rear. Nothing like He's not in trouble or anything, but
think
he's
he's
keeping an eye on it.
Like, I know it's on the steering wheel, but how are your eyes that good that you can see that?
I have glasses on.
So do I.
Don't tell me you can't read that.
No.
Get new glasses.
No, I'm not very close to my TV, but...
I guess because I have a very big monitor. If it's a bigger monitor, you know the numbers are also bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, I can try it. If I open it on stream, I don't think I'll be able to read it on the phone. I'll try. I'm on board with Phantom right now. I can read it here at 72 on the rear left.
Now switch to a random driver and don't look on your phone. Or sorry, don't look in your monitor and then try to guess what it is.
Yeah, there's no. I can't read it. There's no chance. I don't need to go to a random driver. It also depends on the onboard. Like, for example, if I go to a Sauber, I can't even see the numbers because I can only see the top of the dash. I'm too close, basically, to the halo. My camera angle is different for each car because otherwise it's not centered. Yeah, lap time's improving more and more. Gary has already got Pocho by 3 seconds and he's 3.5 back from Overwise, so he's absolutely flying out there. Which makes it even more of a shame that he messed up the strategy like that. So it's just thrown away a very good race. With that strategy mistake starting on the full wets. The big question, of course, is how long this rain is gonna stay. If these guys can get to the dry compound without a pit stop. If they can't, that could be the ticket back into the race for Gary, Pocho, Marco and Mihai. Gap between Sully and Raul is stabilizing, opening up a little bit more. But the top 3 seem to be sort of set in stone at the minute. Sully quite far away from Raul, who's quite far away from PC Wooly. Ossie is sort of keeping up with PC Wooly. He's on the edge of 1 second, but he's not really ever been in the position to actually try and make a move. He's just been, staying within range of his teammate.
It really does look like we're not far away from this rain stopping.
Yeah, the question is how long it will stay like this. I mean, the entire qualifying was like the lightest of drizzle. Like Sean tried the softs at the start of qualifying. He was like 3 seconds off the pace, and they stayed exactly in that window the entire time. It never went wetter or drier. So just because the rain is very light doesn't mean it's about to go away. You know, there was 20 minutes of that exact condition, where the inters are like also massively overheating. And yeah, I think the drivers are going to be struggling with that. Phantom is up to 83 degrees. At about 90s where you get into trouble. Get a yellow flag for Overwise was round, and we've got a safety car out on track, I believe.
Interesting.
Or
no.
VSC.
Do we? VSC, yeah.
Yeah, because yellow's everywhere. That doesn't say top left, it says caution sector 1, but it's clearly... yeah, the drivers have also slowed down all over the track, so it's a VSC. I mean, at least last game I could rely on the game telling me there's some sort of safety car, and then I have to check if there's something coming out the pit lane. And I would know if it's a VSC or a full safety car. Now, I have nothing to know. I have to look at the track map and see that the entire track is yellow. That's the only thing. On the top left, it just says sector 1. Yeah, on the trackside monitors it says VSC. For God's sake, co-masters. Oh, and a drive-through penalty for Pix. Gabri on the back of Marcelio. Not sure that's happened.
Marcelio, and then... But that was before the green flags, and then I think he had to give it back.
I think Marcelio spun or something, because there was a yellow flag as well when the VSC came in. I don't think Gabri was that close to him beforehand. And Pocho closed up loads on Gabri. Picks in the pit to serve that drive-through. Raul is also closed up about a second and a half on his teammate Sully. He's had a great restart. Gap down to 3 seconds. Of course, the problem for him is, if Sully gets the switch to the dry tire right, he can't also get it right. Yeah, he has to hope that Sully gets it wrong, basically, so that he can be the one to get it on the correct lap.
I mean,
because with the double stack, he will lose loads of time to him, and he will have no chance of beating him.
Like, you've got 2 Red Bulls, 2 McLarens, 2 Ferraris.
Yeah,
To
they're all in
Haas.
the same spot. Guga is also fairly close to. Oh, and Pocho's got wing damage. Pocho went like Marcelio there coming through turn 3, and he's missing the front left end plate. Always onto the mediums? Is it time for the dry? Surely not.
Just let him through.
I mean, we saw it in Kota, the rain was gone for a while, it still wasn't time for dries, and it's literally still raining. Yeah, he's losing loads.
Well, he's just out of the pits, to be fair.
Yeah, but he's already lost like a second.
Okay.
Definitely not time for the dries. Always with a strategical mistake there, pitting too early. Not sure if he had damage or something.
He didn't have much to lose, to be fair.
Yeah. Sean is in the pits as well. Don't pit for dries, Sean, please. Tell me like your inters are at 90% or something and you can't go any longer. Otherwise this is the worst strategy I've ever seen. He wasn't even like in a position to have to make a gamble.
He's on to dries.
Hearts!
That is criminal. In
That's
F1
a sackable
24 you
offense.
might consider hards, if it was dry enough.
Always has lost like 4 seconds on this lap. And he's on mediums. Yeah, I mean, Sean, what are you thinking? Have we learned
we'll
nothing
see
from
how
last
Sean-
week? Wait, hold on. He hasn't lost like 3 seconds to me yet. It's sort
We'll
of...
see how it compares.
Oh!
Maybe Owise is just washed.
Oh, he's gaining! Sean is gaining, what the fuck? Why is this working? Why is
Mihai
this...
just not doing well? Yeah, Mihai's struggling, but...
Get for leader. 37. Still 37. 36-9, 37. It's sort of stable.
Well, it's only gonna... Yeah, there's DRS. It's the right time now. So Sean
It's
is gonna have these
literally
hands
still
warmed
raining.
up.
Is this game taking the piss? Kuko's in. Phantom is in. I'm just another VSC for something.
That is terrible for Sean.
Hard combo as well for both Kuko and Phantom. Why is there a VSC? What happened?
No idea. I didn't see anything on the map even.
Oh, have a look at pics. I think you can suspect what happened.
Pigs.
You can maybe deduce why there could be a VSC right now.
Potentially.
Well, that VSC time was great for those who made their pit stops. Now, Pocho still with the win now, but he didn't change it. Kuko the first one on the dry compound. And the VSC is still out. Is somebody gonna reach the pit lane time? It's completely... Oh, and drive for penalties for Marco and Owise.
Owise is just adding insult
And
to
Pixel
injury.
tired in the mid lane. Kuku is losing a bit of time to Gabi. Of course, Gabi has a fresher intermediates. And Guga makes a move on Lanky Brown. With the whole track now being a dry line. It's much more easy to overtake finally.
Why are the front runners not in?
I'm surprised as well. I thought at least Varel would be in for sure. And Ossie is in. He's taking the chance to get the undercut on his teammate.
Like, Aussie's gonna gain seconds here. Like, it's bone dry. It's not raining.
I mean, they might be scared from last week. Of course, they can't see lower than the top 5. They don't know that Kuku is gaining time on them. Now they will know. Now that he can see. Oh, Ossie spun out the pit lane! Oh! He almost collected someone.
Phantom.
Phantom and Kuko were like 3 seconds behind Ossie. Of course, they had to stop under VSC. No, Phantom and Kuko were like 3 seconds behind Ossie. What did I just say? Whatever, no.
Nah,
But the point is, Kuko and Phantom gained a bit of time, a lot of time even. 20 seconds a gap from PC to Kuko, so I think Sully and Varel should still come out in the lead if they box now, but they have to box now.
I mean, Sully's pace is still strong, but they are losing.
Let's see. Surely at least one of the Rebels in now. Sully's in.
Sully's in.
Is Viral gonna follow him or do another lap? He's gonna follow him.
Yep.
Bisivoli still staying out.
Stays out.
Another lap on the intermediates from Bisivoli, despite the fact that Kuko is definitely getting time.
He's gonna come out of this into this race in 7th. That's my call.
We'll see where Sully and Viral end up. Sully, of course, still changing tyre. Viral now having to double stack, loses a bit of time here in the pits. Far from optimal. But they should come out in 2nd and 3rd. I think they were far enough away from Kuko. And it's not that long a pit lane. Yellow flags for always, I believe that is. And Sully comes out in 2nd place. Viral comes out side by side with Phantom Fox there.
Whoa, a bit of contact.
A lot of contact.
Still going.
Viral is going to try and hold it around the outside. It's a crucial moment for the race. Guys!
That is...
Can we have any more contact? That wasn't enough already. Somehow they both have come out of that without damage, I believe. But that was questionable. I didn't even know what to say. They just kept bumping into the... like it's frontal karting.
Yeah, PC Willie's gonna come out just with Sean, I believe, if he pits now.
Yeah, I mean, Phantom, Viral and also have lost a lot of time there, so that could save PC really, but he's not going to be ahead of them still. He's lost a lot of time on this lap. And Sully is once more in an absolutely amazing position, despite the fact he stayed out way too long.
I mean, he built himself to comfort.
Yeah. And of course now he has a tire advantage to everyone, and I think everyone is going to the end here, also reason for the hard compound. And I must say, kudos to Sean to make that call, because I literally laughed at him. Not even joking, I laughed at him. I thought it was a ridiculous strategy call. And it worked out for him. He's going to come out just behind PC Willy there in 6th position.
And Sean's right with him.
And we've got Pochum retiring in the pit lane as well. And a full-course safety car!
Has he crashed in the pits? Or is he... What's like...
He's
done?
crashed in the pit entry! Yeah, he stopped! He crashed in the pit entry! Because he wasn't moving. If he had retired in the pits...
Viral got 10 seconds.
If he had retired in the pits, his car would have kept moving through the pit lane. But no, he just stopped. And Viral, yeah, got a 10-second penalty for a severe collision with someone. So he hit someone under safety car, I imagine. It's really the only time you get those penalties. With Phantom Fox. Oh! Have a look at Phantom Fox!
That's not supposed to happen.
That's the second time this race we just suddenly see a car without a front wing and we don't really know what happened. I mean, Phantom Fox is gonna have to box now. Hopefully for him he has got another hard to go to the end, because a medium surely will struggle from here. Sully is staying out, so is Kuko. Viral might be in to serve that 10-second penalty. Yep. Aussie's out, Phantom is in. Let's see what Viral and Phantom go on to. But if they have chosen the harder tire allocation, they will have a second hard. If they have chosen balance, they will have mediums on this stop. Sean also in.
Hard tires for Phantom.
Mediums for Viral. And for Sean, that's a hard tire as well. So Sean and Phantom picked the harder tire allocation. They were prepared to have a second hard. Viral is not. Bazooka is also in for fresh heart, wager? Yep, fresh heart as well. And with that, we've essentially got a whole new race here. Everybody back in one train, we had a safety car. The massive gap that Sully had equalized. Phantom and Viral, who were in a very good position, now down towards the back, born on fresh tires, and the same goes for Sean. Gabri and Mihai back in the race after their strategy mistake. Same for Marco, although he's down in 14th, so while he's back in the train, he's got a lot of cars to overtake if he wants to get a good points finish today as well.
think we're gonna have another 2 laps here. I doubt always catches up in time. Maybe he does. If he does, it'll be one of those
surely
late
be another lap.
calls.
I mean, he's like a whole lap behind still. So I wouldn't hold my breath for a restart at the end of lap 19. Or 18? 19. We've got a pit stop from Viral.
He wants to go back onto the hards, maybe.
Not a bad idea. And he might stay in front of Bazooka still.
Yeah, it's kind of a risk-free pit stop there.
Yeah, he should stay in 11th, and he's back on the hards. So
Even if
those
it's
will
not
bring him to
11th,
the end.
it's
Oh, we stay in
gonna be
11th.
close.
Bazooka is burning ERS. He wants to be ahead. It's close. There's Viral on the right hand side. Who made the safety car line first? I think it was Bazooka.
Well, they're still racing.
Oh, they just start battling. Okay, the Viral was ahead, it seems. Viral gets the position. Unless we want to see a legal overtake penalty. I thought Bazooka was ahead at the end of the because from what I understand in the regulations, the safety car line is where the white line for the pit entry ends. Sorry, the pit exit ends. And whoever reaches that safety car line first gets to stay ahead. If you are coming out side by side in a pit stop under the safety car. And I thought Bazooka was ahead. But clearly the game disagrees, so I didn't understand the rule 100%.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Maybe the safety car line is somewhere else, or maybe I just saw it incorrectly and Viral was ahead. Or maybe it doesn't work that way at all, I have no idea. And yeah, we are gonna need one more lap, otherwise not gonna catch up in time. So we'll get racing at the end of lap 20, which means a 15 lap sprint to the end. Mostly hards, 2 drivers in the mediums and 2 Saubers, Marco and Owise, down in 14th and 15th. Owise is back in the pit though. So he might go back to the hard tire. Same thing that Viral just did. Of course he also has nothing to lose. And for Owise, we're gonna get a fresh hard tire on the car. That means Marco's now the only driver in this race not on the hard tire.
Will it work for him?
I have literally no idea. I mean, I've never raced around here on this game, so... Well, I mean, on last game I would say he would be on the best tire now to go to the end, but the tire on this year's game is a whole different beast compared to 24. But safety should be in this lap. I will have a 15 lap sprint to the end of this race. Slowly leading the way from Kuko, and then Aussie, PC, Oli, Guga, Lanky, Gabri, Mihai, Sean, Phantom, Viral, Bazooka, Masenio, Marco, and Owise. The cars left in this race. Now we get a bit of weaving, get at least a little bit of tire temperature. Of course, the tires, ever since F124, it's been basically impossible to keep tire temperature in them throughout the safety car. So we are going to be seeing these drivers on very cold tires, especially on the hard compound, as we restart this race. Sony crawling towards the last corner. When is he going to go? Doesn't want to go too early, needs to try and catch Kuko off guard. And I think he's gone. Kuko, not close enough for a move, but Aussie, he is close enough for a move on Kuko. Kuko covers the inside, Aussie will have to go around the outside to turn 1. And Kuko has outbraked him, Aussie fully sideways, and PC only might take advantage of that. He was going to try it, but no. Gary updates on Lanky Brown though, he's going to try and get back up to P6. Continuing to make his comeback. 1 position gain in the restart for Gabri. And maybe another one as he looks up the inside on Guga River. No, Vaxon off it, but that's Walter McLaren's way off. That's Aussie, who is understeered off. Or maybe, I mean, I don't know what happened to him, but he's way off on the exit of turn 5. Another position for Guga and Gabri in behind. We've got a battle between Mihai and Sean. And Mihai puts Sean in the grass. Viral pulls through. Sean down to 10th position. The winner of the opening round in Australia having a very tough race this evening. Still yellow flag in sector 3 according to the top left, but on the track map it's all gone.
Thank you, EA.
Really is a beautiful game, isn't it?
Yes. It has
The top
killed
3 have now...
two drivers' careers and has visual glitches.
Top 3 have gotten away from the rest of the field. Guga out of the 1 second range to PC Woody. Solely with the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Marco's in the pit lane. And he retires from the race.
So the medium's not gonna see how they play out in the end, as though everyone is on the hards.
Yep, everybody on the same strategy from here to the end. Only slightly different amounts of laps on those tires. Right now we've sort of got 2 trains here, the top 3, and then everybody else. But even then, Guga is not that far from PC Woody as well. All still to play for in this Hungarian Grand Prix. Sully's trying to break away from Kuko. He's got him outside 1 second right now, which could be crucial if he gets him out of the DRS window. Especially for PC Woody, because he's fairly close to Kuko. He can maybe take advantage of that, get past him on the main straight.
Yeah, they've gotten rid of the yellow flag now.
Finally. Took him long enough. And Kuko fully sideways. Now PC Woody has gotten really close. And no DRS for Kuko. Surely PC Woody is in a great chance to make this move happen now. They're both burning overtake, fast lap the race from Sully once more. Is PC Woody close enough? I don't think he is. Nope, Tuco has him covered at least in the turn 1, but there is of course
Gabri's
one more
close
DRS on coming up. And another move from Gabri here for 4th position.
Not done yet though. He's had a
Nope,
big moment.
he's bottled it. Too much throttle on the exit of turn 1, gets sideways, and Google River holds on to the position for at least 1 more lap. PC Woody in a scenario he couldn't get past Kuko to turn 1 or turn 2. And we've got a battle that's Lanky Brown who goes way off, similar to what we saw from Mossy. And he rejoins Justin and Marcelio. Marcelio goes around the outside with a beautiful move. Lanky Brown with a terrible exit though.
Beautiful camera angle from EA to show me that. I just got to have a look at the chicane after.
And Kuko's round! Kuko is spun! PC up in the 2nd, Kuko up in the 3rd, Garby up in the 4th, Kuko rejoins the race in 5th place. I don't think he was fully round, but certainly a lot of time lost and 3 places lost for Kuko. Sully once more now, 2 seconds clear at the front.
Overall.
And Aussie, the next car putting pressure on Kuko, but he's too far behind with the ERS that he has left. Garby still not found a way around Kuko River. That would be 3rd place, maybe if you could find a way around him.
And I think damage for Viral, yes. I think I don't know if Mihai went defensive and too late, or if Viral pulled out too late.
Sean is off! Sorry.
Is he?
He spun out of turn 2, I saw him. And he's lost places as well. He was in the grass, he rejoined fairly quickly, but he has lost the place to Phantom.
Fair enough. Yeah, no front end plate for Viral.
Yeah, see it on the front left, I believe that is.
Yes.
And he's losing quite a bit of pace. He's already 2 seconds back from Mossy, and Mihai is putting a lot of pressure on him. PC Woody gonna have to try and chase after Solian to get back into the battle for the race win. That spin from Kuko has created a little bit of a gap at the front. 2 seconds from Solian to PC Woody, and another 2 seconds back to Google River. As Mihai gets past Viral. Although Viral is still alongside him into the 2nd to last corner. Mihai's gonna try and hold it around the outside. Crucially, I believe Viral's gonna have DRS on the main straight here, and he will. But with the front wing damage he has and the combination of dirt here as well, he can't really stay that close to 2.5 tenths a gap. Can he have a run to turn 1? Yes, he can. And Mihai is going to get attacked by Phantom Fox as well. And Sean. Mihai gets attacked by 3 cars in one go. Sean goes deep!
Oh, Sean!
He is hit viral and he's picked up damage. And further misery for Sean. He's having a nightmare race. And he only has himself to blame for that incident. Way too late in the brakes and simply pile drives into viral. And somehow viral has come out best out of all of that. Sean looks for a move on Allwise. And he has the similar mistake to Aussie, and Lanky Brown gets on the curb. Thankfully for him he doesn't go kilometer off, but still he's lost a bit of time once more and he's still stuck in 12th place. It's now he goes into the back of Allwise. He's not a good day for Sean.
Well, back to the drawing board for next week.
Gary is very low on EAS. He's not got enough EAS to make that move happen down towards turn 1. And Google River has got loads of EAS to defend from him. 5 tenths back, 6 tenths back. Yeah, the dirty air hurting him through the last corner. He's burning overtake, but it's futile. I mean, it's just waste. Right now, he needs to be closer to have any chance of making that move happen, and he needs to have more EAS when he starts the straight.
Viral doing everything to break the toe from Phantom.
And I don't think it's gonna work out for him, because Phantom, with a functioning front wing, should have that done easily, especially with Viral having absolutely no EAS left. And there we go, Phantom Fox up into 7th place.
And he should breeze off into the distance.
Yeah, but sadly for him, there's a big gap up ahead to 6th place, so 7th could be, yeah, the end of his fight back in the field from Phantom Fox today. We've got Aussie in the back of Tokyo as well in the battle for 5th. Those two have dropped back from Guga and Gabri. The gap we see really to Sully is staying sort of stable, but Sully is on his way to another race win. It was 2 seconds a couple laps ago, now it's 2.2, so yeah, a slight gain for Sully there, but all in all, pretty stable. But that's not what PC needs to get closer, not further away. Into the last corner we go once more, and Gabri too far back from Google River. Not enough EAS.
Barreled into the pits.
We've got a yellow flag for Owise, who's spun coming out into the second to last corner. And that's his chance of points down the drain. Same for DC Rowell, who had to make a pit stop to get that wing changed.
He had just gotten a 3-second penalty, so I think he decided to call it quits on trying to defend everything.
And Owise out of the race, so we're not even going to see a battle for the fastest lap between him and Viral. I think that's 1 point going Viral's way, pretty much. So Mihai and Marcelio are in a battle for 8th. Marcelio tries to hold alongside into turn 3, but that's never going to work through there.
Viral may steal the fastest lap from his own teammate.
Almost certainly will. Aussie has dropped back significantly from Kuko. Gary has been doing good work, charging him off into EAS, now up to 55. Kuko on 80. So still a bit of EAS to save, but he has got quite a few laps left. I don't think he's really looking for more than P3 at this point. The gap's simply too big up ahead. So he knows he can focus fully on Google River and just make sure to save that EAS for the end of the race.
You know, championship will not be won in Hungary. So he doesn't have to try to be the hero now. He just needs to be sensible with how he approaches it. I
mean, unless he gives the wheel to Jan Ortmir right now, you're not winning this race anyway. That gap is just too big with two free laps to go up ahead to PC Willy and Sully. So he might as well be calm about this. Save the EAS, which he's just burnt like 30%. Not bad.
Marcelio and Mihai and Sean going at it.
Oh!
They both hit each other!
And that's Marcelio out of the Grand Prix! And it's a 4-core safety car once more! Sean and Marcelio with a massive accident down a straight, and they both go off. Marcelio out of the race, Sean with massive damage. Lanky Brown is let him past there with an illegal overtake.
Did you see all that?
I saw it happen. It happened too quickly. I'm not gonna blame anyone now.
That was... wow.
I mean, I'm not gonna be able to have a replay on the stream. I'm not that fancy. But I can check the replay myself. And viewers, you can rewind. So let's see. I mean, I go onto it. Oh, okay, I know who to blame. Marcelio, I think, was looking for a move on Mihai. He wasn't aware that Sean was alongside him, and he's fully swiped him off. At least that's what I would say on first impressions from the TV angle. Apparently YouTube is saying that I am playing Clancy's Division 2. This is firmly F125, I'd like to clarify. In the meantime, while I was watching the replay, Aussie, with a interesting strategy call. The thing is, this worked for Aussie once. On a 5-year-old game. He tried it last season, I don't remember where, but he did it in RL Zandvoort on F1 2020. Which is a different game, the tires did not drop off as significantly then, and it was much harder to overtake. So that made sense. It worked. And then he did it in some Division 2 race as well, and he finished like 12th. Because he just lost like 6 places in one lap and another 6 in the second lap. Now F1 25, okay, you've got dirty air. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult to overtake, but the tires drop off even more.
I mean, it could be trying to help his teammate get the win.
He's more likely to hurt him. Because if Sully gets past and PCV then has to get around him as well, even if he lets him pass, that will cost PCV a little bit of time. This is not helping PCV in any way. But we've now got a sprint to the end of this race. Safety car should be in end of lap 30. I imagine Viral will catch quickly enough. Yeah, we've got a 5-lapper. Interesting that we've got a bit of a split here between soft and mediums. We've got Sully, PCV, Mihai and Viral on the softs, and then Guga, Gabri, Kuko, Phantom, Bazooka, Lanky and Sean on the mediums. Aussie on the old hards. It's gonna require an absolute defensive masterclass, because those softs are gonna be like 3-4 seconds a lap faster than those old hards. So realistically what I think will happen is Aussie goes, Sully will be up his bum the entire straight and just dive bomb him like diabolically. And Aussie will be able to do nothing about it. And then
it'd be nice if we could see Tyler.
I predict Aussie will be P5 by turn 2. This cannot work.
If you were the bookies, what would you give his odds of winning this race?
0.
Well, 0 would mean in bookie terms it's like a guarantee, so...
Oh shit, whatever impossible means. I don't do sports betting. It's just not happening.
We'll go with 1,000,000 to 1, how about that?
Sure.
I don't think it's that harsh, but I wouldn't be putting my money on him, I'll put it that way.
I think it's not happening. On this game, with this tire model, I mean... How? How would he ever be able to defend? Even if it was Monaco, I would say he's probably not winning this. I mean, I see the gamble. I mean, he's not in a title fight, so I guess if he doesn't care about the points, you might as well try and go for glory. That's his way of like, at least getting the lead and maybe giving himself a chance, which I think he had a bigger chance before he did this.
You just wonder how he's going to approach this restart.
Who knows? I mean, maybe Sully spins on the restart, blocks the entire field, Aussie is 15 seconds ahead.
Yes, very likely.
That's like the only scenario I can imagine for how this would work for him.
I would be going as late as possible, but he's gone now.
He's gone really early. And yeah, I mean, look at that. Right, so Sully will have to do turn 1, there's absolutely no question about it. And I will have to let PCV through. So there comes Sully. PCV on the outside, over the switchback line maybe. And...
Oh, hang on. Hang on. Oh, contact!
Oh, PCV and Sully battle for the lead. Sully up the inside, PCV trying to hold around the outside for turn 2. And Sully's got the advantage. Now Aussie trying to hold on against Gabri, who got Cougar River on the restart. Gabri up the hill, around the outside. No, good defense from Aussie, but Gabri's gonna find a way around him sooner rather than later. He can't afford to go behind him this entire middle sector if he wants any chance of winning this race. And he's still stuck behind him. Maybe the switchback line out to chicane? No. Aussie's still holding on to third. Gabri, still not found a way around him. Surely now he has to get him into the last sector here. And he's already lost 2 seconds to the leaders. Aussie covering the middle of the track. Gabri goes even further inside and outbreaks the McLaren. They make a bit of contact. But I think Gabri is finally ahead as Aussie is on the inside line, but he's not got a tyre to stick past him there. Aussie now fully sideways as well. He's being swarmed by cars. And look at that, he's been passed by Guga, and now up the inside is Kuku as well. Oh my goodness me. He's causing absolute carnage here in the midfield. He's got like 6 cars in his lift. Oh my god, what's off going? What is happening?
He's only been overtaken by 1 car there.
There were so many cars side by side. Sean decided, fuck it, I'm going on the grass. And I respect it. I mean, it didn't work. 1 bit, he went straight on. Aussie's somehow still in 6th after all this. I thought this would be where he is after like 3 corners. But Aussie is actually doing a lot better than I thought he would, but now, yeah, he gets eaten by Vanderfox. And then Viral. Surely, Viral.
Oh, big contact from
off.
Lanky Brown.
Gary's also just lost 2 places to Guga and Kuku.
Yeah, that was not Aussie going off, that was Lanky Brown terrorism, so...
Oh my god, there's also another car way off the track once more. What is happening in this midfield? I have completely missed what happened to Gabri in all of this. And a send from Sean and Lanky Brown. Lanky Brown has picked up damage on the front left-hand plate.
Is PC Willie's out of the ERS? So is Sully, to be fair.
Yeah, they've both been burning to try and get away from each other. Gabri has made a mistake and dropped back to 5th at some point. I didn't see what happened to him. There was too much happening with Aussie. And
there's still stuff happening with Aussie.
Fucking screwed out again.
Here comes Sean.
I mean, at least he had some fun now, I guess. This must have been the most exciting thing that's happened to him on track. And he's off.
He's off.
I mean, to be fair, he was about to drop to last anyway, so this doesn't really... he would have had 0 points regardless.
See if he can get it. Oh well, that was fun.
Most hectic 2 laps of Aussie's career, but I mean, I told you it's not gonna work. And now, as we head into the last 2 laps, it's Sully versus PC Winnie for the win. The rest of the field are way back as they dropped way too much time behind Aussie.
Sully is slightly more ERS.
Slightly less.
Yeah, I meant that.
But he's got a good gap to PC Winnie, 7.5 tenths. Winnie's gonna have to be a lot closer than that in the last lap. Of course, now is not the time to make an overtake. He's just gonna try and get a little bit closer here with the ERS, I think. It's too early for the overtake, unless he wants to surprise him, because he just gained loads. I think Sully was on none ERS that whole straight. PC Winnie now burning some overtake down towards turn 2, but he's too far behind. And now they're both gonna go into recharge mode for the rest of this lap. And PC Winnie, he needs to stay, I would say, within at the very least 5 tenths. If he's further back than that coming out to the last corner, he's just not gonna have to run on Sully. Of course, Sully is gonna use all of his overtake on that last lap. Aussie now in the pit lane, so you can get at least a fast lap out of this with a fresh set of softs. And the only battle really happening out on track, we have got another one in 9th between Mihai and Bazooka. Of course, we are going to stay on leaders here. Coming into the last lap, PC Winnie, has he got the chance? I mean, he looks to be a little bit far back, 7 tenths, but he has got a lot more years than Sully.
Yeah.
Maybe he can get close on the first straight, then make the pass on the second, but he's certainly too far back for a move to turn 1. 9 tenths gap there. I think Sully has got this in the bag. And yes, he has.
Big slide, yeah.
That is over for PC Winnie. He's just lost a load of time with that. And Sully, coming into the last lap, on the way to a 2nd race win in a row. Peaceably, of course, has got DRS one more time, but he's simply too far back. And unless he can find some way around him in the middle sector, which is very doubtful. I mean, we saw even Gabri struggling against Aussie with a massive tyre advantage of multiple seconds a lap.
Whoa.
Peaceably and slowly on equal tyres, as we've got Sean and Viral battling over 7th as well on the last lap here. And a beautiful switchback by Viral, not so beautiful. And that's another wing flying for Viral. I mean, that's like the 7th time I've seen someone in the midfield smash their wing off in the last 5 laps.
Williams in Spain.
Last half lap of the race of Sully, our championship leader, about to further extend his gap at the front. He's had the perfect start to the season. A P3 in Australia, a P1 in Kota, and it's going to be another P1 here in Hungary. From pole to the win. One of the only drivers this race, I would say, who has really kept the calm and stayed out of trouble completely. And he's been rewarded for it. With the race win here in Hungary, he comes around the final corner and he celebrates across the line. Peaceably in second place. Google River got a lot closer on the last lap there, so if these guys stayed closer as well, they could have been for sure in the fight on those mediums, would have had the advantage come the end. But it's Google in third, Kuku in fourth, Gabri coming home only in fifth, he'll be unhappy with that for sure. Then Phantom, followed by Viral, followed by Mihai, then Bazooka, then Viral, then Lanky, then Sean, and finally we've got Aussie still going around, chasing after the first lap of the race, which currently is a 17.9, which is 1.9 seconds faster than his previous best. And in Sector 2 he's 1.5 up, so he is well on his way to stealing the fastest lap of Sully. Worth mentioning, Aussie's got 4 laps of extra fuel. So as we come through the last corners of this race, Aussie will round out the results. Of course, will be 12th place for him. He's way too far back for any sort of penalties to affect his position, but he will get the fast lap of the race and 1 bonus point at least for his effort. That's that. The Hungarian Grand Prix. What a race it was, I mean. Some utter carnage there on that safety car restart. Genuinely some absolutely diabolical stuff. Second time this season in Division 2 he's on top step, third time this season in F1 Italien he's on top step. Sully in absolutely amazing form at the minute. He won the opener in Division 1 and then he won round 2 and 3 in Division 2. What a season this man is having so far. He already came into this race with a very good lead over everyone but Sean. Sean being 9 points back now, with Sean having scored a grand total of 0 points in this race. All of a sudden, the gap at the front of the championship is opened up massively. And with that, I would say we are done. Unless there's anything else to say from your side?
No, not really.
Well, then, I will leave you all with that. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I hope you enjoyed today's race. We'll be seeing you 7 days from now for the next race in Belgium at Spa-Francorchamps in Division 2. Of course, on Saturday at 7:30 PM UK as well, the Hungarian Grand Prix in Division 1. Hopefully, I think we'll have a stream for that. I don't think Gabri has dropped out yet. Unless I've missed it. So that should be exciting. Yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Have a nice evening, and goodbye.